Okay.
Let's try that again.
Okay.
It's a rare condition this day and age to read any good news on the newspaper
Wow.
page.
Another tradition
Of the
of grand design. Some people say it's even hard to find. And there must be some magic glue inside these little walls.
And that's
So-
where we stopped it. Yeah.
Right.
What are they
Okay.
saying right there? There must be some magic what inside
Clue.
these?
Clue.
There must be some magic clue inside these
Gentle
Gentle
walls.
gentle walls. Yeah.
Yeah,
okay.
like the house they're in.
yeah.
Real love bursting out of every scene.
Is it just me or no? That's not the right word to
It
say
is
that.
just you.
No.
Yeah.
The son. Did something bad happen with the son? The actor who played the son.
Oh,
I don't think so. I think
No.
I
What
think
was his
okay.
name? I know
Darius
Laura.
McCary.
Darius
I think it-
McCary. Okay.
I think that
Darius
was his
Macarius.
name.
hmm
Darius Macarius. Yeah.
What's
I know
going on with him?
Cosby's real son was murdered. His real son.
Not Theo.
I don't think the
Theo.
actor, but like his actual son was
Yeah.
murdered.
That dude was on a UPN
Wait.
show.
Okay.
Malcolm and Freddie, or Malcolm and Eddie,
Is that what it was?
Eddie.
because it was Eddie
Eddie, yeah.
Griffin. Is that his name?
Eddie Winslow.
Eddie Winslow, yeah.
No, I'm talking about Malcolm and Eddie, the UPN show.
I don't know about Malcolm and Eddie.
No,
I know about Eddie
Eddie
Winslow.
Griffin, is that the actor from the 90s?
Oh yeah, Eddie Griffin. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
No, he's 48 years old and he likes to wear shirts mostly unbuttoned.
Eddie
Oh wait,
Griffin.
mugshot. Here we go.
My
Okay,
man.
there is a mugshot. Okay. What did Darius do?
Nothing. It said just second. He didn't pay child support for second time.
Okay. Well,
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
not
He's
terrible.
he's
We've
smiling
all
in his
been
mugshot.
there.
He's fine.
We've all
like
been there.
he's like
know I
this
have.
economy.
He went to white collar jail probably.
Mhm,
So, damn, those Family Matter residuals ran out. I guess.
yeah.
What the fuck are we talking
Surprising.
about? This is a BAWCAST 4. And we're just like going down
We're
the
just
Family Matters.
We're just checking
Where
in.
are they now?
We're just checking
So-
in on the gang. What's going on? Laura, where are you at? Carl, Steve.
Carl's doing fine. Don't need to worry
Jaleel.
about Carl.
Yeah, we don't need to worry about. I never worry about Carl.
What about Carl's bad?
Carl's good is more like it. That's what
Yeah.
that show was to me.
What about Steve-ul? Are you guys remember? Do you remember this?
No,
I remember that was the evil Steve from an alternate dimension.
No. They had ventriloquist dummies.
yes,
of
I
them?
do remember that.
What the Carl one was called Carl's bad, and the Steve one was called Steve-ul.
I
And they
remember.
were evil ventriloquist dummies of Carl and Steve, and they were played by some little people.
Little people, yeah. I fully remember this.
Oh wow,
Yeah.
Family Matters. That's after they jumped the shark. That was probably during.
Season 2, actually.
Oh, what? Don't fuck with me, Mark.
Season
Don't fuck
2.
with me like that.
I'm pretty sure that was like season 8, season 9.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
That's a
It's
season
when-
8, season 9 gig.
yeah. It was already in syndication when those episodes were coming out. So,
Mhm.
so what's going on, guys? We I think we wanted to talk about two things in
Yes.
of Acadiana relevance. See
Okay.
today. Number one, Gambit, just
Yep.
because he's
Mon ami.
in the news, I guess.
He's in the zeitgeist, and not on this podcast, I don't think, but in our last podcast, which maybe those will resurface again at some point. We had an extended discussion at a time whenever, for 2 hours, we were talking about the 1973 Burt Reynolds film White Lightning.
Yep.
Where we did go on a tangent about Gambit and how he is basically the only positive representation of Cajuns in pop culture.
Yeah.
right.
Yeah, and we talked a lot about his outfit. We talked a lot about him culturally. We talked a lot about how it doesn't make a lot of sense that he's from New Orleans, but he's a Cajun, but we let that slide. But since then, the third Deadpool movie, which I think has already made $1.3 billion.
Something stupid. Yeah.
Yeah, and Gambit, played by Channing Tatum, is a prominent part of that film, and the internet has really taken a shine to him. we felt it was probably important for us to speak on it as the BAWCAST.
Well, yeah, because we've been talking about Gambit for a while before this came out, and it's like it's time to really talk about Gambit now. And
you don't have to be a Cajun to appreciate Gambit.
No,
but being a Cajun, it really helps you feel a sense of ownership. Of the character.
The first thing I want to touch on Gambit is, so like you said, he's a Cajun. He claims to be a Cajun from New Orleans, but I think he means New Orleans in the sense of when someone doesn't, that someone isn't going to know the real place you're from, so you name the closest, biggest city. So you say New Orleans. So I think Gambit is probably from off of Highway 90.
Yeah.
Probably close to Booty or Des Allemands.
Okay,
maybe?
so you say Des Allemands.
Des Allemands.
Des
All right,
Allemands.
Mark. All right, fancy. Come on,
my
Lafayette.
My headcanon is Lafourche, like Thibodeaux, like that area.
Yeah, but if you're from Thibodeaux, dude, that's too far to say you're from New Orleans.
What about
in my
Bastrop?
opinion.
Bayou Lafourche, I'm gonna say Lafourche.
What about
Parish.
Bastrop?
Okay, if you're from like off of Highway 1 in the
Bastrop.
lower Bastrop, that's in the north, Coleman.
Bastrop.
Yeah, it's not Bastrop, dude.
That's almost
worse
in
than
Arkansas.
New Orleans. Yeah,
Well,
it's like
That's almost in
Shreveport,
Arkansas.
motherfucker.
Yeah.
Stop saying Bastrop.
Yes.
Well, his family was from Lafourche, but they, Katrina, and then they had to go to Bastrop.
Dude, that would be the most boring X-Men arc of all time. Just Gambit,
Gambit goes to Bastrop.
in Katrina, like after Katrina going to like high school as a refugee in Bastrop, and just be like, man, what y'all want? What y'all do for lunch over here?
He's one of
Man,
those
all y'all
New
guys that
Orleans
frozen
kids who got
pizzas
sent out.
they heat up every day. God damn.
Mhm.
Yeah, I imagine he's a yeah. Okay, so that would make canonically Gambit our age. I like that. I like this.
Mhm.
So
I mean, he was a '90s character. Am I wrong?
yeah, but in this
He
the
might
run
come out
that
in the
Coleman
late
just
80s.
made, the Coleman run, he's our age.
Yeah.
He's currently 36, 37 years old. So
On the Jack Kirby of the
What about
2020.
So
St.
he-
James Parish? What about would we accept that?
sure. Yeah,
Uh-huh.
but I don't know, dude. I could see him being like Des Allemands right there, or like you said, the lower Lafourche, which is like the Golden Meadow, cut off Larose, like all heading towards Grand Isle. I could definitely see that. That plays out pretty well. And since that's all like, you would say you're from New Orleans
Yeah,
there if you came from there.
but
I
we're
think.
not willing to accept like St. Charles Parish or anything like that.
I mean, St. Charles, what's that, Destrehan? Shit like that? I don't even
yeah,
know.
yeah, Huntsville. No, like that. That's just not Cajun. No.
Okay.
But
All right.
then
So
it-
next
I mean,
question.
he could be an expat. Whatever.
Right. All right. We gotta move on and keep this moving.
We
All
gotta
right.
keep it
What
going.
part of New Orleans did Gambit live in?
Okay, so this
The
is a good
Bywater.
question. Bywater, yeah, fine. My thought is that he's getting back to your point, Ty, of like, oh, you say you're from New Orleans. Is he really from like Harvey or Araby? Or
Maybe
like
Araby.
or the fucking West Bank.
I'm gonna say before. I'm gonna say at some point X-Menning the residuals weren't coming in really well, so he was probably working in Chalmette for a little bit,
I could
but
definitely
commuting
see
to
Chalmette.
Chalmette. He was commuting to Chalmette, I think. So
He doesn't strike me as a Ninth Ward guy. And I mean, the Bywater and the Marigny make sense for him, like Dr. John territory, but he doesn't have the accent. Like he does have a Cajun accent.
right, no, he's not Dr.
Which is
John.
interesting.
He's a Cajun. Yeah.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
no, he talked like this. Like he doesn't talk like this. Like
Yeah.
no, that's
Well, speaking of the accent, I think it's very interesting that I remember I was reading in a Louisiana subreddit, they were talking about his accent, Channing Tatum's accent in Deadpool 3. And a lot of people said this, and I thought they were pretty spot on. They're like, yeah, the accent was good, but it's like how my grandparents talk.
Yes, which I kind of appreciated, where it's
True.
you're not going to find guys Channing Tatum's age that sound like that. And
No.
and honestly, you're going to it's going to be almost like our generation's grandparents.
Yes. Yeah.
Like people who are like close to death, like 80 years old. This is like the generation like greatest generation Cajuns, pretty much.
Yeah.
And
But if it was canonically like his
Mhm.
actual age,
yeah,
like he'd be calling people head.
he would. He
Like,
would.
what's up, head?
Well-
That's how he would be talking.
Well, I mean, I do like to think of Gambit as in the time that he was created, and so if he was like 30 or 40 in, let's say he was like 35 in 1990, then sure, like that means he was born in 1955, and yeah, maybe he would sound like that,
Okay, yeah.
But
If that's what Channing Tatum was in that movie, I guess it's possible since he was kind of technically ageless. I guess.
Yeah,
You don't know when he got purged to the void, or whatever it's called.
So he could have been like issue 1, like
Right.
Uncanny X-Men Gambit. I mean, I know that's not the issue that Gambit was in,
Yeah.
but the first issue with Gambit.
Yeah.
Um,
Coleman, what do you say?
I think
Did you
Gambit.
see the film, Coleman?
No,
Have you seen the scenes with Gambit?
I've seen stills.
Stills.
This
Ty,
is gonna go great.
is there any way that we can? Because I know on the internet, which this is going to be another part that we could touch on. I was able to find one of the clips, but I can't find it easily anymore, of Gambit's entrance, where you get to hear him like talk to Wolverine and Deadpool for the first scene.
Mm-hmm.
And he says some French, and a lot of people online were kind of like, it sounds like gibberish, but I think I was able to actually find out what he was saying.
Right.
It sounded just kind of like throwaway lines, but I do. That's a good Coleman showing us a pen sketch of Rogue and Gambit in the style of the 90s cartoons.
With the caption, "I love how they love." I mean, it's true. I mean, she's just a simple Mississippi girl, and he's just a good old Cajun boy, right?
Yeah, like he's a swamp rat and she's a river rat. Yeah.
But here's the thing: Gambit is a stand-up boyfriend because Rogue tells him straight up, "Look, if you even come anywhere near my hoo-ha, you're gonna fucking die." And Gambit's like, "That's not right by me, Chef."
Gambit famously is covered by weird armor.
True.
So, like, he might have some kind of like a dental dam, like female condom situation going on in his genitals.
Okay, next question.
I just realized, just all he has to do is just wear a condom and then like some gloves, and he's probably fine.
I've been saying this for years.
Have you?
I have, and you know that.
You really have.
No, I don't remember that.
Well, okay.
God damn you, Coleman.
I'm sorry.
We'll put up a poll. No, we don't have a poll.
Polecat.
Next question. Where did Gambit spend 2 years for college? UL, Delgado, or Nichols?
Nichols, dude. I was going to say
Nichols.
We know it was Nichols.
And it was only 2 years. It was only 2 years.
It was a technical college. Like, of course, Gambit went to Nichols to be a pipe fitter.
Mesha, UL's too far away.
He kept on blowing up pipes.
Or
with his
LSU
hands.
E. Like, he went to...
Oh, dude, they got all them bumpy parts when you hit New Iberia. I don't like that.
I could see Gambit going to LSU E. He's like, oh man, they ain't got no swamps out here. They still speak French though. And they got a lot of rice.
Delgado would be a good way to say how he got to New Orleans, I think.
Yes, yeah, he could. That would make sense. I would buy that. Where it's like he started out in Lafourche, and then like did 2 semesters in Delgado. Because he's not going to UNO. He sure as fuck isn't going to Tulane. Like
Yeah.
No.
No, he's not going to. He ain't going to Xavier.
No,
Well,
Loyola.
they would
Gambit-
not let him in
Loyola.
Xavier.
Gambit's mama was a single mom. His daddy ran off.
On a shrimp boat. Because he's
I think that's
mean,
canonical. I think.
So
Yeah.
if we agree that he's from below Raceland, which is off of Highway 1, cut off Larose Golden Meadow,
He
all
got
the way
his
down
accent below Raceland, that's for
he's
sure.
more of a marsh Cajun than a
A
swamp
prairie
Cajun.
Cajun.
Yeah.
He's
yeah,
not a
which
prairie
is
Cajun. He's a marsh
Marsh
Cajun.
Cajun, which is
Yeah.
like kind of the third grouping that
Yeah.
we don't touch on that
Yeah,
much.
they shrimp in the marsh over there in those marsh Cajuns because they got access to the Gulf. Yeah. So so he definitely tried college, and at some point he was definitely considering a technical school, a VOTech school somewhere. But what
And
else
then
can we think?
somehow along the way he got involved in the mutant civil rights movement.
Mhm.
Yeah. Charles Xavier had to tap into the Nichols database to find Remy LeBeau.
Yeah. Gambit's like, what the hell? Man, I
Hello.
get them voices in my head. He's like this old bald man.
Hello, is this the admissions for Nichols? I don't know. That's my Patrick Stewart, but that's very bad.
Does Cerebro like call them on their brain phone? Hello, this is Charles Xavier.
Dr. Charles Xavier calling from Nichols University.
Get out of my head! You're in my head! Oh, terribly sorry.
Terribly sorry. I'm looking for a person in your English department.
One Remy LeBeau.
One Remy LeBeau.
Sir, you're gonna have to call the line. You gotta get out of my head.
Yeah.
Terribly sorry.
Man, I thought if I did English, it'd be a easy degree on account that I already speak it. God
It's
damn
not
it,
my
Remy.
first language, but you know.
It beats riding a shrimp boat.
Speaking of which, yes, so I looked in our group chat to try to find the original clip, and it has been taken down because basically they just put up a clip from the movie, which is still in theaters. I didn't have the desire to go and watch the movie again to get another look at everything, but I was able to find one clip for a while for Gambit's introduction. And I was able to find two things that he says in Cajun French. The first one, he's talking to Deadpool, and he says, like, I'm the Gambit, Diable Blanc, which means the White Devil, which is, one of his nicknames.
It's a good one.
Yeah, and then he's, Deadpool says some cheeky, self-aware things to him. And then Gambit notices across the room Wolverine. And he says his first French thing, if you don't count Diable Blanc. He says, C'est Thibodeaux, which I wasn't sure about this, but I tried to break it down by syllable. And I think he's saying, say, like, it is, C apostrophe EST, Boudet, which means like to sulk, like to
sulk, yeah.
Basically.
Boudet,
oyai, which basically translates to, oh, wow, like over here. So I think he's saying, oh, look who's sulking over there in the corner. It's Wolverine, So I said, Boudet, oyai. Hey, we never had a Wolverine here before. And I'm like, okay, that tracks. I think that is what he's saying. Yeah. And then the next thing he says, he's like, it's common courtesy to ask before you drink up all of my liquor. And, Wolverine says he doesn't give a fuck. And then the next thing, which the next French phrase that he says is "Couillonzois." And then he throws a card and blows up the bottle of Jack Daniels or, Evans or Williams or whatever. Which, of course, we all know what couillon means, like stupid, idiot, silly. Zois means like goose, bird. So I think he's calling him a silly goose. And he's like,
which also tracks.
Yeah, and he throws the cards. He's like, couillon zois, and then he blows up his drink. Yeah.
Silly
I appreciated the and I was even looking up online, like, has anybody else written about this? Has anybody else translated? And this was like a week ago, so I'm sure they've done more since then. But the only thing I could find was that the director said he was just saying nonsense, like making shit up. Like he said something like "couillon joie," and it's like that doesn't mean anything. And but then I was looking at videos of Channing Tatum, and he was talking on like Jimmy Fallon or something, and he name drops a lot of stuff that Jimmy Fallon just pushes aside and doesn't seem to care about. That's very important to us. He brings up like, yeah, there aren't really any Cajuns in New Orleans, even though like Gambit's from New Orleans. Like they're more in the Lafayette area. He name drops Lafayette. And then he
Channing, man, he's a real one.
He does. Yeah, he is. And he brings up the Cajun Night Before Christmas. He's like, yeah, I really like thought about that book because my dad is from New Orleans and he used to read us the Cajun Night Before Christmas as kids. And if you read the Cajun Night Before Christmas, it basically does it phonetically like dictate you how to speak in a Cajun accent.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's a winner.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, 10 stars, 2 thumbs way up. You did it, Channing. Proud of you.
Yeah.
So proud of you, Channing. We knew you could do it.
Compared to like that Wilford Brimley movie with Van Damme.
Jones. That's my impression of Wilford Brimley from Hard Target. Yeah, he's riding on a horse, and he's Chance Devereaux. Is the Jean-Claude Van Damme Cajun character.
Is that a made-up Cajun name?
It is. Yeah, there aren't Cajuns named Devereaux.
Yeah,
Chance, what you doing here, boy? Chance.
Chance. Oh shit, that's great, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man.
So Channing did a great Gambit. They released Ryan Reynolds posted a clip of like him, like an after credits thing. It's just like a video of them like someone looks like they're picking Channing Tatum Gambit up out of the void. So they're like hinting that he could come back. So
nice.
This may not be the end of Tatum Gambit. So I'm excited, man. No, it's like if anything, like I don't think he necessarily has like as chiseled as a face as Gambit, and I'm being nitpicky here, but
he like, doesn't just look like Gambit really, but he's got the energy. Yeah,
right. The authenticity
he's got the performance, and he cares.
I think
Taylor
he
Kitsch,
cares exactly.
Taylor Kitsch looked more like Gambit in the face, but he didn't give a shit. He didn't. He just
had a
wore
bowler
like
hat,
a fucking
dude.
bowler hat. Yeah, and
like who the fuck wears a bowler hat in Louisiana? No one.
Nobody.
Nobody.
Taylor Kitsch. That's who. Not Gambit.
Coleman, your thoughts on bowler hats and Cajuns?
Passe.
Passe a good time, Mershah.
Yeah. So I don't know. Yeah. So we say go another 5 minutes or so. I want to shift gears. And speaking of Des Allemands, real quick. So Lana Del Rey is dating a hardcore BAW from Des Allemands.
We don't know that.
I think we do.
I sent you the picture, Coleman.
He's an airboat tour guide.
Look, they're in London. London. They took a BAW to London. I mean,
look, I'm not going to judge a BAW by its cover.
American BAW in London.
I'm not going to judge a BAW by its airboat. You say an American BAW in London?
American BAW wolf in London.
BAW wolf. The full moon comes out and he's like,
he wakes up the next morning surrounded by shrimp. Sorry, prawns.
But man, he looked like he fought the sun and lost. I mean, this guy looks rough.
He looks like all of our cousins put together into one person.
Wrapped in camouflage paper. Yeah.
I know that Lana Del Rey has excellent tastes in arts and in music and men. So I would assume that, this guy's got something going on. Lana Del Rey is kind of a classy lady.
He knows all the good fishing spots.
Yeah. He's got an airboat and a 12-pack of Michelob. What do you need?
She's
What
probably,
else
she's
do you
probably
need?
tired of all these socialites, and she met a down to earth guy and was like, you know what?
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna give it a try.
Knows how to
Yeah.
clean a deer. Yeah.
Yeah.
Was that to clean everything, dude?
Knows how to dress
Probably
a deer.
not his
yeah.
probably not his home, but
Yeah.
You don't know that.
Yeah,
could be a nice.
I
could
bet he
be
keeps
a-
his camp nice and tidy.
Yeah.
you assume he lives in a camp.
I
Yeah.
don't think we should judge this guy.
I'm
know?
not judging him. I just want to see. I want to know what he thought when Lana Del Rey was like, "Hey, I got you a plane ticket to London," and he was like, "Oh shit!"
I'm guessing he's never heard her music.
I would say
Yeah,
the same
that
thing.
too.
I'm guessing
I
he
don't
thinks
think
she
she's ever
has
heard
like a
Lana Del
TV
Rey.
show or something.
Yeah, man, you do
and
that
she
fancy
probably,
music.
yeah, she probably appreciates that. You know.
Yeah. Man, I ain't never been any further than John Lafitte.
Yeah, my new girl's like some kind of a musician or something.
She's taking
Every
me
now
on
and
a
then-
plane. I never been on a plane before. She's taking me somewhere new, somewhere really far. I think we're going to Shreveport.
Yeah.
Now,
Every now and then
I
I go to a ballroom in Destrehan, but that's about it.
I do not like flying.
No,
I do not like flying.
they got to do the Mr. T for me. They got to knock me out.
Yep.
And, otherwise
So
I
wait.
wake up, I swinging all my fists at you.
So, bruh, hold on, bruh. So you're gonna get me in a metal bird and fly around with some stranger that probably hadn't slept in 15 hours? Okay, yeah, no, that's a good idea.
No.
Yeah. No, count me out,
Man,
bro.
they got
Count me out.
They want
They got-
they want me to
I'll
fly
drive.
over the ocean. That's what boats are for. All
Yeah.
right.
Man, they got
People
they got
weren't
any
meant to
fried
fly over the ocean.
Man, they got any fried shrimp in London? Because if they
Prunes.
don't, we in
They get
trouble.
prunes.
Or they got the Chinese crawfish in London.
The Chinese.
Is China closer? Is London closer to America, or is it closer to China?
Man, you want to
Because
go?
I know
London?
they're gonna go with the cheapest. I know that.
I don't
Man,
got.
man,
I
I
don't
live in
got.
the real
anxiety.
world.
I don't got
Man, culture.
anxiety. I just don't like big spaces. I don't like
Yeah.
crowds.
I
No?
don't got anxiety. I just get scared whenever I don't feel right.
Skirt. Man, I'm cultured. I know a lot of Vietnamese people.
They're nice.
They're
I
nice.
got like
They're real
I-
nice.
I got like 40 Laotian friends in New Iberia.
Yeah.
They fish better than I do,
No, bro.
It's like she.
and they're from a landlocked country in Southeast Asia.
They ain't got no water out there.
No, and they fish way better than I do. They teaching
boy-
me things about how to catch fish. How they know? How they know?
How
My
they
boy
know?
T. Josh keep calling
If
them.
they was Vietnamese, I'd understand. Man, they covered in water.
I keep telling my boy T. Josh, they not Cambodian, they Laotian. Get it right.
Man,
They
it's
deserve
just
our
like
respect.
it's just like
That's
Creedon said,
xenophobic
bro.
as hell.
Just like Creedon said, bro. Run through the jungle.
That
Don't look
I
back
think-
again.
Don't
I
look
think
back.
I think we've all had that conversation with like a redneck person or like a ball where like they tell us that they have a black friend and that they let them say the N-word and like they're very proud of it because like
Don't bring balls into that. I think
Yeah.
that's a redneck thing.
This is a redneck thing. Okay.
yeah, we don't bring balls into that.
I mean, anyone's capable of prejudice, I guess.
Of
but
course,
yeah,
ignorance.
yeah.
Let's say.
Yeah,
I've just heard that story like a million times.
yeah. Well, so Lana Del Rey, good for that ball.
Anyway,
That's a tangent.
Good for that ball wherever he is right now. Hopefully, he's got some good fish fry nearby to season up his food. I guess if he's in London. So
she got that song "Video Games" and that's cool because I got an Xbox at home,
the first one.
the first one.
The
I got me a PS1, but except back then they didn't call it a one; it was just a PS.
Yeah,
PS.
like postscript.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it rhymes with BS, which I ain't about.
No.
No.
no, bah.
All right,
BS
so we're at
stops
30
here.
We're at 30 minutes, y'all. Tell us, write to us a hand letter what you think about Gambit being from somewhere on the way to Grand Isle and Lana Del Rey's new boyfriend, which I didn't learn his name. But any final thoughts, boys?
I think his
before
name
we
is.
sign off?
I think his name was
think he's literally a Dufresne.
Dufresne, yeah,
Yeah,
because
like
of
Andy
Shawshank
Dufresne.
Redemption.
Yeah, like that's
My
not going to help.
Andy.
That's not going to help us. I
No.
think. In yeah. So
Mr. Dufresne called through 40 yards of shit. Who knows what else to get to Lana Del Rey's London Jamboree.
with that, we're going to sign off for the night. So thanks for tuning in to BAWCAST number 4. We'll see you next time.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Mesa